Hello, and welcome to this edition of Whiskey at Work. I'm Mark, along with Kelsey and Rob, and joining us today, finally, you guys are here. So glad to have you on the show. It is Ryan Kane and Dan Bruner of Timmons Market. Welcome, you guys. So glad you're here.
Great to be here.
And bringing so much whiskey. You guys are awesome. So glad you took some time off from work to drink with us. Or are you technically still working? Are you guys supposed to be working right now? Because
somebody's doing something.
Awesome. The reason why we have you guys here today is not only are you a big sponsor of us here at Whiskey at Work, which we can't thank you guys enough. It's been a blast having you guys a part of this. You guys also are a business that knows how to pick your bourbons. How did this all come about with you guys? Why did you decide this was something you were going to do?
Obviously, like you guys, we are people who enjoy bourbon. Probably about 7 years ago is when the pantry started getting a little too full. And so,
you had to make an entire liquor store out of it then?
But, I'd say, at least from South Dakota's perspective, probably about 7 years ago is when bourbon started to make its way into South Dakota.
Is bourbon what you guys specifically, is that kind of how you want to, the direction you want to go with your liquor store? Is bourbon, it seems like you guys have a really good selection of it, more so than some of the other places here in Rapid City.
Yeah, I think our goal is definitely to be a full-service liquor store.
Sure.
But bourbon is such a fun part of liquor for us.
Right.
It's definitely our favorite. And so I would say that we are a full-service liquor store that specializes in bourbon and American whiskey.
That's a great way to put it. So whose idea was it the first time to run down and say, you know what, we are going to pick our own. We're gonna give it a shot and see how it turns out.
I don't even think it had to be one of our ideas. Like, it was like, hey, do you want to go pick a barrel? Like,
yeah.
The answer is yes.
Yeah, nobody says no to that.
And so I think the challenge at that point became like, where do we want to start?
How did you decide? Can you tell us a little bit about the whole process?
We have to get an invite from the distributors to pick a barrel if it's available. And so the Elijah Craig barrel was our first option or first opportunity to actually pick a barrel for the store. And so our distributor got the invite, then we were able to go down and actually go in the rick house, pull the bourbon straight out of the cask. They had 3 barrels lined up for us, knocked the cork out of the barrel, thieved it straight with a copper thief, poured it straight into Glencairn, and
they let you guys do all of that? I mean,
that's
you get
awesome.
your hands on with the whole thing.
It was the dirtiest process ever. We got done and our jeans were brown from all of that. I mean,
the char.
Sure.
Yeah.
Barrels should sit in those rick houses for, I think that Elijah Craig was just under 10 years old. So it sat there just collecting dust and...
Oh, but how good did you smell when you came out?
It was so amazing.
Yeah. It was like 4 months after we had transitioned the grocery store over to Timmons Market. And so that was kind of like our, let's go celebrate this. Let's go landmark this. And, at the same time, let's begin the journey towards being known as the bourbon mecca.
Sure.
In Rapid City. And so that was kind of the goal there.
So Knob Creek is the latest one that you guys had picked, and the process for this was one of the coolest things I've seen, aside from being there, right?
Yep.
Okay, but I want to, before we get into that, because you recommended trying this neat. I'm an over ice guy. I'll always drink over ice.
I think just in general, like for me, one of the coolest things is seeing how it changes.
Sure, absolutely.
And so that's what really blew my mind with bourbon when I really fell in love with it, was I would always start neat and I would take my first sip and then I would either put a little bit of water or an ice cube to open it up, and just the difference in how it changes the flavor profile.
Absolutely.
Really just fascinated me.
And this is 120 proof for this particular bourbon.
Not for the faint of heart.
No, it is not. That is on the extreme high end of any type of bourbon like this. But right away, the smell for me instantly was caramel. It was overpowering almost for a second.
Yep.
I've been drinking it for a while, so I'm not going to stew about it.
That just explodes once you get it in your mouth.
It's really full flavored.
And for 120,
I thought there was going to be a pretty intense burn at 120, and there There wasn't.
Oh, there's an intense warmth.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is,
warmth is
though. But it's
fantastic.
it's that whole body warmth.
Yeah, it is.
You know, it's that.
You're getting a hug right now.
Yes, that's what it is. It's
Good old
way more
Kentucky
of a good.
This is a fall-winter sipping bourbon without question.
How do we define winter?
Around here, October to
Okay,
May,
because I've been
day-to-day
shipping
thing
this
here.
you know, July to May, somewhere around nowadays. And here's the coolest part. All right, Ryan, explain this. This is
Show them the box.
what you got. Yeah, the box is freaking beautiful for starters.
Yeah.
Can you get
I mean,
it
this
up?
is like
Get it
first
up?
class.
Little
Yeah.
higher. And what's in the box is the experience to pick your barrel, in essence, correct?
Can you go ahead and walk us through?
Yeah.
Sure. So this kit, when it came in, I was in awe of just the beauty of the case, and second to being actually at the distillery, because we had picked the Old Forester, and we got 3 200 ml plastic
And
bottle
we're super
samples,
thankful.
and it was awesome.
But like that's the cool thing, and I'm just real quick, like that's the thing that blew my mind is like there's a waiting list for this stuff, right? So they don't have to do this,
Right,
Like
absolutely.
no matter what, people are going to be asking to do the barrel pick program, and so for them to do this anyway, is really cool and really representative of like their organization, and just like to send this thing was super cool.
Goes above and beyond. That's cool. Okay, Dan, explain the process then.
All right, so
Of how
they
this
sent
works.
3 different barrel samples to us, and clearly this is the bottle we liked the best.
Empty one.
That is now this.
This was not our favorite.
Excellent.
So we were able to actually test all of them at cask strength first, which just kind of in our philosophy when it comes to bourbon, kind of like tasting everything neat the first time. We wanted to taste it in its truest, rawest form, so straight as it came out of the barrel.
What proof did that come out? Do you know? Was it like 140?
This one was 141.7.
Right there on the bottle. Awesome.
136.1 on this one, and then 135.5 here. And so we tried them all just straight out of the bottle, just neat. And then they sent this little handy science beaker here. And
The Breaking
fill it
Bad
up
kit.
to the,
That's the coolest.
you fill it up to the red line, and then based on the proof, they tell you how much water to add, and it then proofed it down to the 120 that it was bottled at.
Yeah, you didn't add a lot of water. It's still
No, it
pretty
was.
Yeah, you get the little eyedropper there, and yeah.
There's still a decent amount of water there.
Yeah, they send you.
I was going to
water.
say, they sent you
Water
the water
from the
too.
distillery,
From
yeah.
Probably
the actual
the
Yeah, because
water
it's
they
the
use.
limestone.
limestone filtered
They
water,
make
which is an
the-
important part of why
Now, where-
Kentucky from bourbon, or bourbon from Kentucky is so...
Okay, let's pull that away.
Why did you guys pick the one that you did?
So, for me, like the first words you said, like I loved hearing that from you, because it's the first thing that we got when we tasted it. It was like caramel. Like it was just a punch of caramel.
It's even more so with that icing.
Yeah.
There is a sweetness that came out of
Absolutely.
here.
It loosened it up a little.
Whoa, did it ever.
So I lean more. We actually both tend to lean more towards the caramel sweet versus the oaky.
Yeah.
And so, you know, of these, and you guys are welcome to try the 2 we did not pick. I mean, we can do that whenever you want. But I think the one we liked the least was kind of the oakiest, and so therefore it came in third.
So you guys have picked 4 of your barrels. I just want people
He
to
was just
know
helping
right
you
now
out.
that we've had about a 20-minute intermission while we're coming back to this. So you'll notice these are a lot emptier than they were earlier.
These are fuller than
Speaks to how good it is.
You guys have gone down and picked 4 barrels so far, and you said you had a 5th one coming. Which one is it? Can you
So
tell
we've
us?
got a 1792 full proof coming. So far the wait has been worth it with every one of our picks.
Boy.
We just submitted that
Especially
pick 2.5 weeks ago. And so we anticipate, they said 4 to 6 weeks
Okay.
total time for processing. So
Well, you guys are on a roll.
Oh, is that it on that one? 4 to 6 until it's in the store, is what they said.
they were caught up. So
We'll see. Okay.
they're
Yeah.
weeks or
Conversion
real
times
weeks. I don't
seven.
know.
This is high stakes behind the scenes grocery stack. You guys don't see this all the time. All right, this is something special here. You know, for people that may not come or may not know where you guys are, or there might even be some people that never get to that part of Rapid City. As Timmons Market is a grocery store. What drives you guys to keep doing this? Why is it Why is it so important to you to be the grocery store you are?
So for me, I came out of the corporate retail world, and there's just something different about being a family-owned and operated grocery store. And when we say family-owned and operated, we truly mean it. And I think that if you were to stop in and speak to our staff, they would share that same sentiment. We feel like you're going to get a different experience when you're at Timmons Market. We truly care about each and every customer that comes in our building every day. We care about our team, which then means that our team cares about our customers. And I think that you'll get that experience when you come out to Timmons Market.
And where are you guys located specifically?
So 747 Timmons Boulevard, just off of Elkvale,
Okay.
just down the hill from Waikiki. It's kind of the best way to describe it.
Yeah, exactly. Well, now here
So did they name the road after you, or did you name the market?
So,
That's a funny story.
so when we went to name the store, we were like, we want it to be local. Like, we want it to like represent the neighborhood where we're at, et cetera. And so we were like Elkvale Market, like we play with some different things. Well, like the 100-yard stretch of road in front of the store, it's called Timmons. And so we were like, Timmons Market, cool. Like, yeah, we like it.
Yeah.
Customers that live like a block over came in and they're like, so why is it called Timmons? We're like, we maybe made a mistake. We thought maybe more people knew this was Timmons. But like, we've had people come in like, are you Mr. Timmons?
Yeah.
Or like,
Yeah,
are you
Mr.
Mr. Timmons? And I'm like, no.
But then I think we've also found a lot of history of the area. That whole entire area used to be part of the Timmons family ranch.
Yeah.
And when it was bought and redeveloped, we've
Okay.
actually had some of the family members come in and talk to us, which has been really neat to find some of the history. And
Yeah.
there's
Yeah.
Bernice Street, which was Bernice Timmons,
Oh,
which is
wow.
adjacent
Oh,
to
very
Timmons
cool.
You don't have to
Boulevard.
pay royalties to them, though.
No.
No, I don't think
No.
so.
Not until they thought about it. Until they saw it on here. Now they're like, wait a second.
And we, as we've been talking here this afternoon too, we can't stress enough what a great bourbon selection these guys have. If you are a bourbon fan, if you're looking for a new bourbon, if you have questions about bourbon, we do this silly little
You're not learning
video
anything from us.
podcast. Exactly.
Obviously not from them.
What notes did you get?
But you guys have one of the best bourbon selections
Sure.
in Rapid City, and you're also so well educated about it, and you can actually kind of tell people what to expect from something that they haven't tried before for someone who's looking to explore.
Thank
or,
you. That's the fun thing of like the store. You asked, are we a liquor store or are we like a bourbon store? And like you phrased it great. Like we have everything. We know bourbon.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like if you want scotch, come in and talk to us, and we'll probably bring it in for you.
Absolutely.
Because your customer will take care of you. But like if you want to know like what's the difference between this one and what's a rye and what's
Right.
like that's something that we know and that our staff knows, and so we take pride in being able to help you find, because a lot of people come in and get gifts and they're like, my husband,
Sure.
Said he
brother,
liked this
Right.
thing, and I'm gonna
Right.
yeah.
So
So what are the store hours for Timmons Market? How long are you guys? What are your hours when you open?
So 7 days a week, 6:30 a.m. to 10 p.m. Liquor store opens at 8.
8 a.m. to 10
8
p.m.
a.m. Yes. Close at 10 p.m. And then we'll usually stay open later on New Year's Eve in the liquor store.
We stay open
Till
till it
11.
slows down.
Yep.
I'm gonna see if we can't get that liquor store open at 7. That's gonna be our goal here before we leave.
We're going to start doing these before
Yep,
work?
we're gonna do them before work. We're gonna make it
Doing
an
this
early.
before work.
I know a guy that might.
Well, you guys, it has been a lot of fun talking to you guys and learning a little bit about how this whole process works, about picking a barrel, and just knowing that there is a liquor store in town that is going to go just that little bit extra distance, to make sure you have a good experience. So
Sure.
we appreciate it, you guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
You bet. Thanks for joining
Thank
us.
you. Thanks for having us.
Absolutely. Thank you for
Salute.
joining
You're
us.
welcome back
on
anytime.
Whiskey at Work with the boys from Timmons Market. Thanks so much for watching.